One of the fun things about putting fence through corn stalks is you have dumb stuff like this happen. And it doesn't really hurt anything, you just got to go and fix it one time when you first set it up. Hey folks, it's that time of year again. We're putting up fence around the corn stalks, just getting started with it here. And a video I wanted to make for a little bit here. I've had a number of people see this little setup in the background of videos and stuff like that and send me messages or send me comments asking for a better look at it. So here we are, that's what we're doing today. It's just a couple of Target reels, although I've used a number of different makes and models of reels with this. This is just a piece of steel with a loop welded around it right there. And then another half loop here with a pin. And this is bolted on, so if you have different makes and models of reels, you can drill new holes because they might look real similar, but I found they're all a little bit different on exactly how they like to be set up. And then that's just a chain to hold on to the pin. So we take it out like this. Take the pin out. You notice the reel does actually just sit there, but if we start driving and bouncing, it would fall off. Yep. And there you go. Comes on and off just like that. And then you put the pin back in. And that's about all there is to it. When I'm driving with this, I don't go very fast. You go very fast and you like stop or something, or something happens. And what you can happen is like the reel overspin like that, but even more dramatically, and you'll end up with this loose here, and that can be a problem. When that happens a lot, because it gets real loose and it'll slide off the side here, and then it'll bind up around the axle on the outside. And if you've ever had that happen before, you know what I'm talking about. You know that's a giant pain. So I don't go very fast. The other thing is I got the mirror on the side-by-side here. These reels hang off to the side here, and I can see the handles moving, and that's very intentional to the design. That's why it's on this side. Probably not the only reason, that's the main reason it's on this side, is so I can see those handles moving up and down in the mirror. And if I see them moving up and down, I know it's still working correctly. Because every once in a while something will happen where, maybe this lock will fall down and it'll keep it from paying out anymore. You hit a really good bump or something like that, and that's something you want to keep an eye on. So if you really wanted to, and I have done this before with other reels where I had problems with the locks falling a lot, take like a rubber band or a zip tie or something and zip tie them open while I'm paying it out. I don't actually use this all that often. Most of the times in the summer on pasture, it's short enough runs, I just do it by hand. I just one reel in each hand and I just walk. But for these longer runs where we're actually feeding out a full quarter mile of fence, yeah, I do tend to use it for this in most cases. In some cases here, I will still unhook this and walk through when we're going through some really heavy brush or something like that. But most of the time we can do it, just do it straight off the ATV here, or UTV. Go. Yeah, 10,000 volts. That's pretty good. Check the bottom wire too, 10,000 volts. So, and I do use T-posts on hard corners where we have a real sharp corner going someplace across this little waterway here, and it's kind of not quite perpendicular, but almost perpendicular to the actual fence line. So we kind of S through it here, and I do use T-posts on either side of this. I've experimented with like timeless posts or fiberglass posts for this roll, and I didn't like them. I actually preferred the steel posts for these. This fence will stay up all winter. It'll still be here, and by late February is probably when I'll pick it up usually. The goats will be out here all winter. The only real like maintenance thing that usually happens is every once in a while a deer runs into it and knocks it down. Used to be with the old posts and stuff, they would break the posts. The posts would break off, or the clips would break off the posts. I already know that these posts are going to perform a lot better than that, but they might still manage to knock the wire off or something, or pull the post out of the ground. So that can still happen. Once a week, once or twice a week, I will go and drive the whole thing with the side-by-side while they're out here and just make sure the fence isn't laying on the ground. Of course, I test it every day. So, well, there we go. We got that line, quarter mile of fence up in about 25 minutes or so, not counting the time I stopped to film a couple things for this. Still got 2 more quarter mile lines to put up today. What it typically looks like is I run the two lines out with a side-by-side, and I run them all the way to the end till the reels are empty, and I know that because the handles on the side have stopped spinning. Put in a post, an end post there, hook the reels up, and then on the drive back we stop periodically and we put up, grab 3, 4, 5 posts out of the back, put up 3, 4, 5 posts, drive the side-by-side a little bit further forward, 3, 4, 5 more posts. And be surprised how quick you can get done with that. And then usually drive back down one more time, tighten up the reels because usually there's still some slack in them, and the weight of the reel hanging off the post is part of what tensions the wire, tensions the polywire. So we tighten those up, and then turn the fencer back on, which we could do remotely. And then on the drive back, we'll do one last drive along where I'm just looking at it and seeing, is there anything that's stuck up on a corn stalk or anything like that? Or if there's, a low spot that needs a post or a high spot that needs a post or something like that. So it's really pretty darn quick, and doing it all myself. So I'm pretty happy with how the system works. Like I said, this is the same kit that I use on pastures in the summer. It gets used year round, so I'm getting good money out of it.